No crowd. No lights. Just you and the floor. Nobody is timing this rep. Nobody is grading this rep. You are the only witness to what you do in this hour, and that is exactly why it counts more than any rep you'll ever do in front of somebody else. Here is what you lose when you save your effort for the hours other people can see. You train hard when someone's watching, and you coast when the room is empty. You call that human. It isn't strategy, it's leakage. Every rep you save for an audience is a rep you didn't actually own. You rented it out for approval, and the approval doesn't build anything. The body doesn't know who's watching. The mind doesn't either. They only know what you actually did, at the hour when doing it bought you nothing but the doing itself. Watch how it drains you. You wait for the gym to fill up before you push. You wait for the meeting to start before you sharpen your point. You save your real effort for the moment it can be witnessed, and you call the empty hour a warm-up. It isn't a warm-up. It's the hour you're quietly skipping, and it's the only hour that was ever actually testing you. And the cost compounds fast. Somebody else is in the empty room right now, working a body nobody's grading and a mind nobody's applauding. And by the time the crowd shows up, that gap between you is already closed shut. They didn't get talent. They got hours you spent waiting to be seen. This is the trap of a world that films everything. You start mistaking the recorded rep for the real one, and the unrecorded rep starts to feel optional, a rehearsal instead of the actual event. It isn't optional. It's the only event that was ever real. The version with an audience is just the version other people finally get to see. The work itself already happened, or it didn't, hours before the lights came on. Miyamoto Musashi fought over 60 duels and never lost a single one, and he didn't build that record in front of an audience. He spent his final years alone in a cave, writing down a discipline built on repetition nobody applauded. The idea that mastery isn't a moment of inspiration. It's the same motion practiced without witness until the body owns it without thought. He called it training so constant that skill becomes instinct. No stage. No crowd. Just the motion, repeated until it was no longer a choice. Musonius Rufus taught the same law from the opposite direction. He was a Roman Stoic teacher exiled more than once for refusing to soften what he taught, and his standard was blunt. Philosophy proven in action, not recited in words. He held that virtue isn't argued into existence in a debate somebody's watching. It's built through voluntary discomfort, deliberately chosen when no one is scoring it, cold, hunger, discipline practiced precisely because it's unwitnessed, so that when the real test arrives publicly, the body has already been there privately 100 times. And Muhammad Ali knew this in his bones before anyone else did. Long before the cameras and the crowd and the shouting. He was on the road at 4 a.m, alone, running in the dark while the city he'd fight for that night was still asleep. He said the fight isn't won in the ring under the lights. It's won on the road, in the miles nobody sees, long before the crowd ever shows up to watch the part that looks like the real work. Notice the pattern. Musashi trained the body until skill became instinct with no one to impress. Musonius trained the will through hardship he chose himself, precisely because no one was forcing it. Ali trained on a dark road while the crowd that would later worship him was still asleep. 3 different disciplines, one identical law. The unwitnessed hour is the only hour that actually decides the outcome. Everything after it is just the reveal. None of them are describing luck, and none of them are describing raw gift. Musashi is describing repetition without spectators until the motion belongs to the body. Musonius is describing hardship chosen on purpose, before anyone forces it on you, so it no longer has power over you when it arrives uninvited. Ali is describing a road in the dark that had nothing to do with the ring and everything to do with what the ring would later reveal. Take away the crowd from any of these 3 men, and the discipline doesn't change. That's the actual test. Not what you do when someone's watching, but whether anything changes when they're not. So here is the order for today. Find the 1 hour today where nobody will see the effort, no audience, no witness, no applause, and give that hour your full weight anyway. Not a warm-up version. The real one. When you're tempted to save the push for the moment someone's watching, remember the empty road Ali ran and the empty cave Musashi trained in. That's where the outcome actually got decided. The public part is just where it got confirmed. Do the rep nobody grades. Sharpen the point nobody's there yet to hear. Choose the discomfort Musonius chose on purpose with no one keeping score. That is the whole of today's training, and it happens before anyone else is even awake to witness it. And tonight, this channel turns from the training to the reckoning. The arena at dusk asks whether today's unwitnessed hours actually held up when the fight got public. Roosevelt on the man who dares greatly, Sun Tzu on knowing the ground, Lombardi on paying the full price. Train alone this morning, so tonight you have something honest to account for. Win before they wake.